The human hand, what an awesome mechanism. It is controlled by over 300 muscles, tendons, nerves, bones, and arteries. 1/4 of the motor cortex in the human brain is devoted to the muscles of the hands. The lines and markings are formed at a subatomic and cellular level. They signify a brain-hand connection that represent a map of your life.
This is the Magnificent Hand.
Certain markings in the hands, the shape of the palm, and fingertips can tell you how compatible you are with others. Handwriting has now moved into the realm of science rather than just entertainment, thanks to the work of Dr. Charlotte Wolfe of UCLA and Dr. Eugene Scheiman, and the recent German study mentioned in the British Journal of Psychology, just to mention a few. Now, most hands have 3 major lines: the lifeline, the head and the spine line, and the heart line. There's a 4th line, and it's the most important line, and it's the fate line. It goes from the bottom of the palm all the way up to the middle finger. Now, don't get excited if this line's rather short or just a partial line. If you hold the hand under a good light, you can generally pick the line out. The nerves going to the hand come off the spine from each of the spinal vertebrae, and if the middle fate line does not show up well, it means the upper spine is misaligned or jammed. Then it's time to see a chiropractor or a good physical therapist. The left hand is the past, and the right hand is the present and the future. So you read the fate line in the right hand. There are 2 starts to the fate line, which will tell you about one aspect of your compatibility. The fate line starts at the base of the palm, nearest the wrist. If the line starts to the outside of the palm, in the fat pad of the hand towards the outside, then the person is very sociable. However, if the line starts right at the base of the palm and travels straight up towards the middle finger, then the person is very private and has to have some private space and time to themselves. A sociable person likes friends and family around them all the time. They'll even phone someone up to go shopping with them. But a private person, on the other hand, is perfectly happy in their own little world and generally likes to take time alone or maybe with just a mate to fill their own agenda. They like to read, stay home, do crafts or hobbies. They don't like the hubbub of people around them. Now, if your partner or your partner-to-be has the same fate line marking in the right hand as you do, this is excellent. You're both on the same wavelength. Neither marking is good or bad. It's just the way a person is born. If the lines are different, be understanding of the other person's characteristics, and this may help you deal with their personality needs. There are some degrees of line beginnings, so if the line is somewhere in between a straight and a private line and a curved or a sociable one, the person could go either way. This line rarely changes, so you don't want to marry for love, you want to marry for the fate line. Square and angular palms are athletic, Round palms are artistic, but a cross between these two types is generally a musician's hand. A very long palm with rather short fingers is the philosophical hand. The middle finger on the average hand should be about the same length as the palm. Palms that are overly long compared to this finger belong to people who are very analytical. They'll think everything to death. But you must be patient with this type of person because they want everything to be just right and they're very particular. Athletic palm people need to be moving all the time. Artistic people see color and portions that fit well, and they may not be painters, but they could express this art with photography, metalworks, woodworking. Construction guys that weld usually have very artistic palms. You don't need to match up the same types of palms, but be aware of these characteristics and encourage them, especially in the proper career. Now your fingertips, top parts of the fingers, are your personality. If these match up, it's nice, but you'll never get a complete match because each finger may be different. Look at the right hand and look at the flesh side of the fingertips, not the fingernail side. Pointy-fingered people like fine things. They're diplomatic, they're sensitive, they're impractical, but they are always collectors. They could be collectors of knickknacks, guns, art, antiques, clothes, shoes, jewelry, or just plain junk. Even if there is just one finger that's pointy, they collect something. Two collectors need a lot of space. Square-tipped fingers are flat on one end and have corners. These people are practical, orderly, stubborn, and macho. Guess who has these type of fingers? Yes, men do. Cowboys are the worst ones for square fingertips. The more square the fingertips, the more macho a person is. Spatulate fingers are a little strange, but you would die for these kind of fingertips. They're fatter on the ends than they are on the finger side. These kind of people are high energy and they're born that way. One 87-year-old woman had all 10 fingers with these tips and she could work harder than any 30-year-old could. People with the spatulate fingertips are adventuresome, intense, and are the drama kings and queens of the world. Most of your actors and actresses have the spatulate fingertips, and if you'll watch Russell Crowe, the way he talks with his hands, he has all 10 fingers spatulate fingertips. The last kind of fingertip is the rounded ones. People with this type are intuitive, quick, compassionate, and generally belong in the health field. Most people will have a diversity of fingertips or a percentage of one kind or the other, so find the characteristics you like and look for that type of person. If you're a woman and you don't like really macho men, stay away from men with square fingertips. If your wife has very pointy fingertips, you'd best be willing to put up with her collecting. A simple shake of the hand can tell you a lot about what kind of partner you'd like to choose, or what kind of person you've already chosen.